What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What's going on, everybody? Packer Plug back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. We got it up on the screen. We're going to be talking about if the Green Bay Packers made the right decision moving on from Aaron Rodgers after the 2022 NFL season. Aaron Rodgers' last season with the Green Bay Packers, drafting Jordan Love in 2020 in round one with pick number 26. We're now a year removed from Jordan Love now being the starter for a year going into the 2024 season. Aaron Rodgers has left. He has 1 year under his belt with the Jets. He was, in fact, injured with the Jets. However, he's coming back. Now he's going to be healthy this year. And we're going to talk about it. The Green Bay Packers made the right decision after 1 year. I think this is an important topic to revisit. My channel is obviously super pro Jordan Love. And I'm very positive on Jordan Love, so I'll start right off the bat by making that clear. And maybe, I do have a little bit of bias toward Jordan Love because I've always just kind of believed in this kid, seeing him come out of Utah and just thinking that I just always thought he had the capabilities, he always had the potential. And, coming into the last season in 2023, he definitely proved that. He definitely proved that, finishing seventh in passing yards, finishing second in touchdowns, right behind Dak Prescott with 32 touchdowns, and then finishing 10th in interceptions, which is something he definitely needs to get down. As you can see right here, his 2023 player grade was 83 overall, so still very good. It's in green. Yeah, and did they make the right decision? So let's go back all the way back to 2020 on that draft night when they did draft Jordan Love. A lot of people were expecting that we'd take a receiver, we'd take a skill player, having just been in the NFC Championship, Aaron Rodgers having just came off an NFL and an MVP season, and the Green Bay Packers in round one of that draft selected Jordan Love. And it was a huge shock to the entire world, huge shock to the Packers fan base, and a huge shock to Aaron Rodgers himself as he seemed very upset. It's where a lot of the risk between him and Gunstakoots started, and ultimately led, I'd say, he says it wasn't because of Jordan Love. It definitely played a part and ultimately led to Aaron Rodgers leaving the Green Bay Packers and being traded to the New York Jets. And you got to wonder if Goody made the right decision, if the Green Bay Packers made the right decision and kind of, ending a Hall of Fame quarterback's career early with the Green Bay Packers. You definitely have, if you keep Aaron Rodgers after 2020, you definitely have a few years window of still being able to win a Super Bowl because it is Aaron Rodgers. However, he was getting older. Okay, in 2020, you're starting to think about the future, just like you did with Brett Favre, and so you go with Jordan Love. And I think, it is disappointing that they wouldn't go all in during that time to try to win a Super Bowl, having come so close. But it's also good to know that the Green Bay Packers organization is always looking to the future, always thinking about the next step, always thinking about the next turn, the next corner, the next season, the next years. The future is very important. The Green Bay Packers have always done a good job of that. That's why they got Aaron Rodgers when they had Brett Favre, and it worked out. And after one season with Jordan Love being the starter, having sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a few years at quarterback, we finally got to see his first season as the starter, as the leader of this team, and he didn't disappoint. The beginning of the season was a little rough, and you had your peak. He had a comeback against the Saints, and that was great. Showed his potential. Then he had a big dip off where the offense was struggling to score. And when it comes to Jordan Love, a lot of his weaknesses are his fundamentals in terms of throwing the ball. Sometimes he's a little off target when the pass is there, and sometimes he's thrown off the back foot when he doesn't need to. But with that comes his ability to throw off the back foot and make incredible plays just like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's very calm in the pocket. I think he's a very smart thrower, and that also comes from sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for all those years and learning how Aaron plays and then adapting that into his style. And he did phenomenal. He made a last-minute playoff run with the Green Bay Packers and got them into the playoffs, and then got into the playoffs and beat a Dallas Cowboys team that was really good, a Dallas Cowboys team that everyone thought Dak Prescott would win MVP and just kind of fell short of that, but they were a good team nonetheless. And Jordan Love kind of came out to play, and I feel like, you really go back to that Thanksgiving game against the Lions, he played lights out. He played lights out. You always go back to that throw he made where he just threads the needle between two DBs and hits the receiver. And he definitely has shown a lot of potential in these years, and it's incredible. You look at these stats too, like the numbers don't lie. I mean, finishing second in touchdowns behind Dak Prescott, beating Brock Purdy, beating Lamar Jackson in touchdowns, who also had incredible seasons. Beating them in touchdowns is not hard. It is hard. It's very hard to do, especially in your first year starting, and he was able to do that, and you can't downplay that. He finished seventh in passing yards. He finished fifth in attempts. So his attempts were up there, and his interceptions. Sometimes he will throw an interception that kind of makes you scratch your head, like, what are you doing? And that's where the Brett Favre comparison comes in, especially with that last interception against the 49ers in the playoffs, where it's a second down and you don't really need to make that throw, and he runs to the right, throws back across his body, and he gets picked off. You kind of want to see those minimized, but again, it was his first year starting, so you kind of chalk it up to that situation. But it's exciting nonetheless, and it has to make you think that they did make the right decision in moving on from Aaron Rodgers. And I know this is a very controversial topic for a lot of Packer fans because a lot of people love Aaron Rodgers. I loved Aaron Rodgers, but it's exciting to see a future player, and it's exciting to see that the first season of having Jordan Love have to step up to the plate, he did it, and it makes you think that they did make the right choice because now you have a young quarterback that you're going into the future with that can grow with these young receivers. It's the youngest team in the NFL, at least it was last season. And so now you have a young guy that can grow with them, whereas Aaron Rodgers maybe didn't want to grow with these receivers. Aaron Rodgers is more up there in age, and maybe he doesn't bond with these young receivers as much or wants to put in the time into the chemistry and the bonding to have that with those receivers that Jordan Love has the capability to do because he is their age, he is their generation, he is the future of this football team. And I just think it works out so much better. You go to Aaron Rodgers, too, just the last season. It's unfortunate Aaron Rodgers had an injury, of course. I think he would have played just great. Would he have played as well as Jordan Love? Who knows? Aaron Rodgers did play with a lot of these receivers that we had this last season with Jordan Love, and he didn't do as well. He still did pretty okay, but he didn't do as great. He was 10th in attempts, which is less, and that's great. But he had 3,695 yards. He finished in 11th, so he didn't have as many passing yards as Jordan Love. He didn't have as many touchdowns. He finished 7th. He still had 26. And the biggest thing is he didn't in that last season do what Jordan Love was able to do, which was rally for that playoff game. We got really close in that last season with Aaron Rodgers, and we got all the way down to the last game of the season against the Lions and just couldn't close it out. And this isn't me saying that Jordan Love is better than Aaron Rodgers in any way. I don't want that to be misconstrued and taken out of context because it's not the case. We have 1 year of Jordan Love, so it's hard to compare to these players when Aaron Rodgers has a whole career and Jordan Love has 1 season. Also, Aaron Rodgers was dealing with a broken thumb on that last season with the Green Bay Packers, so you have to kind of chalk up the season and the stats to that. But in terms of just comparing their single seasons, Aaron Rodgers' last season with us and Jordan Love's last season with us, yes, Jordan Love had the better season. Yes, Jordan Love played better. Yes, Jordan Love was a better quarterback if you just compare those 2 seasons. And so, yeah, I think making the decision to go with Jordan Love was a great decision. Aaron Rodgers went on in 2023 to get injured, so his stats aren't very much. I mean, if you change the stats right here, it's going to be like 1 attempt, I believe. Yep, 1 attempt. 0 passing yards, 0 touchdowns. Obviously, because of the injury, you never want to see that happen. It's very unfortunate. I hope he heals, and I hope he has a great season coming up this next season. So the real question is going to be coming into this next season, how does Jordan Love do going into now his second season starting? And you're going to inevitably compare that with Aaron Rodgers and how he does coming back to the Jets off injury. And we're going to see, man. It's going to be fun. I hope Jordan Love continues to grow. I think he will. I think he'll be in contention, actually, to be an MVP this season. But it's definitely going to be a topic of conversation. Will Aaron Rodgers still be able to play at the high level he played at in 2022 when he last won an MVP? It's now been 2 seasons of no MVPs, 1 season of injury, 1 season of great play, but, not MVP level play. And now 2 years later, will Aaron Rodgers get back to that? Will Jordan Love continue to grow and keep doing how he does? Is he going to falter and kind of have a sophomore slump or kind of fall back? And then the bigger conversation of if the right decision was made. I don't think this is something you could determine now. This is definitely a conversation that we can touch on in this video. And as of right now, if you're just looking at what has been given to us, yes, the Packers made the right decision in moving on from Aaron Rodgers and going with Jordan Love because Jordan Love is doing well and Jordan Love has a lot of potential for the future. Now, to have a definitive answer for this question, you'd have to compare multiple seasons. You'd have to compare the finishing of Aaron Rodgers' season with the next 5 years of Jordan Love's season and what he contributes to the future of this Green Bay Packers team. Because, it could go either way. It could go the way that Jordan Love goes on to win a Super Bowl and does phenomenal, wins MVP, and Aaron Rodgers falters for the back end of his career and you go, oh, it was the greatest decision ever. Or it could go the other way, that Jordan Love falters, never lives up to his potential, or maybe he does. No Super Bowl, though. Aaron Rodgers goes on to win a Super Bowl, and you're having a completely different conversation. Aaron Rodgers was able to get a Super Bowl with the New York Jets, but was never able to get a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. So maybe the decision to move on from Aaron Rodgers wasn't the right decision. It was the team's problem that they couldn't get over that hump. This conversation can go multiple ways. As it stands right now, Jordan Love was the right decision. As of right now. We'll have to revisit this, of course, at another time, and I will in the future, no doubt. Of course, we're a big pro Jordan Love. As to my guess on what's to happen in the future, I would say they're both going to do great. I would say Aaron Rodgers is going to do phenomenal coming back off this injury. He's going to come back. He's going to play well. I think the Jets will definitely be a contender. Will they be a Super Bowl contender? I don't know. There's a lot of great teams in the AFC, but they're definitely going to be a good competitive team. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to bounce back. And I think Jordan Love, in the long term, we will be saying that he was the right decision, and we will be saying that he was the right quarterback and the right choice in that 2020 NFL draft. And I do think he's going to go on to win a Super Bowl. And I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, so of course I'm biased. And our channel is a super big Jordan Love channel. We love Jordan Love, and I love Jordan Love. He's my favorite NFL player. But if I had to guess and put my money on it, I would say Jordan Love is definitely going to go on to be a superstar, an MVP, and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I think the Green Bay Packers definitely made the right choice. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, though. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. I'm going to start doing these videos more consistently. I'm going to try to do them at least once a day, if not every other day. Pump out content. And make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you can get all your news on the Green Bay Packers. The season's coming up. Couldn't be more excited. And Packer plug.